Hola, hola. We are back for another episode of Júntate con Nosotras. I'm your host, Veronica Pulido.
I'm Ceci.
I am Monica Vasquez.
And today we have here with us Sofia Leon, the owner of Cultivate Merced.
Or Cultivate Merced.
Whichever,
Either way.
So, today's topic is pretty much of just being a mom and running a business. Mama's Day acaba de pasar, so we kind of felt like it was kind of obvious to talk about, especially with three of us here being moms and running businesses. That will be our topic for today. So, how was it for you, Sophia?
For Mother's Day? Okay, estábamos trabajando, we were just working.
Yeah.
That was it? Pretty much.
Isn't that wild?
Isn't it wild? Yeah. My daughter actually goes with her father on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really have my daughter with me. So on the Friday, Saturday, Sundays, usually those are the days that I will be grinding all the time. But then during the week, we do the business, and then on the weekend, we also do the business, but not as much, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So, worked for Mother's Day.
Yeah, worked
I
for
think
Mother's
you were
Day.
just talking about it, saying que pues también a ti te pusieron a trabajar.
Oh, yeah.
And going back to what you were saying, like, you know, did you have for Mother's Day or you didn't? I mean, because it seems you guys have.
So every weekend, ella se va con. Can I speak Spanish too?
Yeah. Oh, aquí todo.
Okay, for
Aquí
sure.
todo bilingüe.
No, yeah. So cada viernes se va con su papá.
Mm-hmm.
Viernes, sábado, domingo. After I get out of work at 4:30 in the morning, I have to actually drive and pick her up.
Oh.
So my poor baby has to deal with that. And then, so I pick her up, I guess, Monday morning at 4:30 in the morning or 5 in the morning.
That's right. Take her to
Yeah.
school.
And then I end up taking her to school and stuff after that.
Yeah. Those early mornings are pretty
Rough for
yeah.
her. Yeah.
And how old is your daughter?
She's 12. She's going to be 13, yeah.
So she's about hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Luna she'll be 11, but she's like 23.
Yes.
They act like that
For
sometimes.
She is.
Yeah. Mine, Noelia, she's 11. She just turned 11. So, Ivan, like that's
All of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
pretty
age.
much all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Mine's going to be 13. Mine's going to be 13 in August. So she's getting there.
And so I see that you, you're really booming with the Cultivate Merced, and how has that been with you? And I know now you have your plants, you have a space for your plants, and you know, with the business and your daughter and early mornings, and how is that for you?
I'm going to be completely honest, very, it's not stressful, but it's very tiring. It's exhausting, you know? But I guess that's part of the journey, right? Part of what nobody really gets to see behind the scenes and stuff. A lot of people get surprised when they know that I'm a mother because I try to keep her away from events and stuff. I don't want to exhaust her, but at the same time, I get conflicted because I want her to be there. Quiero que esté allí so she could see, damn, my mom is doing this, you know, like for us, but I don't want her to be like when we were little, you know, like going to the fields or just being exhausted all the time. But I feel like now I want to give her something better than what we had. Not that I'm saying that I had a bad childhood, because it was a great childhood, but it was like, I don't want her to go through those things that I went through, you know? Yeah. But sometimes those things build character, so I get conflicted a lot, you know? Like, should I bring her? Should I not bring her?
I think just sometimes, you know, having experienced a couple things. Not too long ago, I was having that conversation, I think, with you, Molly. How, like, with my kids, when I used to do the vendor events, when I had my candle business, and I would take them with me, and it's just like, they got so in the hang of it that I'd be busy because of such things. I mean, no me los llevaba conmigo cada uno. You know, if it was closer to home or it was, you know, less hours, sure, me los llevaba conmigo, or especially my daughter. And then they got the hang of it, and I'm like, okay, mom, she's gonna go work. Okay, mom now has to go to the shop, and she's gotta do this, and we gotta do that. Y si estamos ahí con ella, pues a comportarnos, or, well, at least my daughter, because she's a bit older, not my son. She'll ask, like, oh, you know, what she can help with. Or can I help you put stuff away, or lo que sea. Like, it's just, not all the time que tengas algo, but occasionally, like, that definitely is what will build something in her. And she'll obviously get to see it, and she'll reflect on it when she goes.
Yeah.
Like,
She'll have that memory.
Yeah.
So how does your daughter, though, feel about you and work? And, I mean, because sometimes they can make us feel like crap, like guilty. You know, I have kids, and I hear it more from Luna because es la más chiquita. Okay, you know, you're always at work, or I have a game, or why do I have to get a ride from like my oldest, or why can't you take me? I mean, do you ever feel that with your daughter? Is she, I guess, with like work? Porque honestamente, la neta it's a lot of work.
No, it is.
It's
a lot of work.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So the way that I set up my hours for the shop is, I actually need to change that. Is I'm supposed to have a time in between from like 2:30 to like 3:30 or 2:45 to 3:45 where I can give myself that time to pick her up, because I know she does complain a lot. Well, she doesn't complain. She tells me, she voices her like concern of like, you're not gonna pick me up. You're not gonna pick me up.
She's telling you how she feels.
Yeah, you're not gonna pick me up.
Hey,
and I'm
it's kind of impacting me.
Yeah, so you know, I can't say that I've been very blessed that my brother Pablo actually goes and picks her up, or like my partner will pick her up, you know, or so I don't have to be stressed out, you know. They'll text me before because they know that I'm so busy and so forgetful, because I have so many things going on in my mind that cuando me pongo like focused on something, I just forget about everything else, you know. I try to like focus to get it done, but then, you know, clients come in or they talk to you and you're just like, I gotta go get my kid. I love you guys. But and then you're trying to cut them off and you're just like, and then you get that phone call. Hey, I've been waiting. No one's picked me up. And it's like, you know, I'm coming. I promise I'm coming, you know? So anything I promise to her, I always try to keep.
Yeah.
But thank God that I've been blessed enough that my partner, picks her up, or my brother always texts me and it's like, hey, you know what? Or my mother will pick her up. But I know that myself not being present is, how do I say this? I know that she can see that I'm working, but for me now, after my brother passed, I feel like I need to be more present now, you know? Back then when I had the shop and it was just work all the time, all day, every day, bringing her to the shop, washing the windows, doing everything all the time, having her put labels on, like having her do everything, you know? Not letting her be a child really was like, I need to let her be a child, you know? So, but then again, I'm like, I don't want to leave her alone at home.
Yeah.
So is she really being a child, or am I teaching? So that's where it gets conflicting, where you're just like, ¿qué estoy haciendo? Estoy haciendo lo mejor para ella, you know?
And it's where that mom guilt, you know, comes for all of us. You know, it really does, because te pones a pensar, you know, like, I mean, they want to support you, and, you know, pero a la vez también uno, for example, like with myself, and I'm sure with you and with you, Sofia, is like, you know, los dejas, pero también te pones a pensar, like, is this it, basically? Like, is this like, voy a dejar a my, you know, my child, or do I bring them with me? Do I go to them? Do I take them to sports? Do I close early? And if I do close early, va a llegar alguien, and then, you know, and then the word of mouth spreads, que pues they're never open, but then you're over there at the soccer game, and you got to pick them up and drop them off. So
and that's the point where it makes you question, is it worth it, right? Yeah. That's where you guys start getting that feeling like, is it worth it? Is this really worth it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard because you try to tell them, like, these are, so what I'm trying to, para inculcarle a mi hija, what I'm trying to do is tell her that her dreams are possible.
Yeah.
Because of my clients, I'm blessed enough that I don't have to work 6 days a week like I used to, or 5 days a week like I used to. I guess I'm working more now for myself, but at least I know it's for myself and for my dream, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm blessed enough to have clients that, you know, it's not allow me, per se, but when they purchase a plant, let's say like my product or a plant, it's like they're making me get closer to my dream, right? To my passion. So I don't want her, what I hope that she takes from all of this is that with hard work, with dedication, consistency, you're going to get somewhere, right? Your dreams can come true and will come true. You have to manifest it. You have to walk it. You have to breathe it. I love plants. I live, eat, and breathe it, right? But I also love my daughter. But at the same time, I'm just like you, am I messing up? Because I'm not the mother that I thought that I would be when I grew up, you know? And I was like, damn. And then like you said, is it really worth it? Then you really think like, maybe I should just step back and wait until she's 18, you know, until she's 19 or she goes off to school or, you know, but then I don't know if she's going to stay home or if she's going to go away, right? So it's like, if I put my life on hold, I feel that she's going to see that and be like, not do the things or chase after the things that she wants to, right? So it's bittersweet, right? Como tú dices, you close a little bit early. It burns like wildfire. It really does. Everyone's like, no estaba abierta, I swear, no estaba. And I'm like, pero soy mamá.
I think that's the part where things like this is important. Where they see this side, they hear this side, they know this side, because on social media y todo esto, pues, we're just a business. It's like, al final del día, somos humanas y somos mamás. And I think it goes for every mom out there that you're going to put your kid first in certain situations, whether you like it or not. That means you're going to have to close a bit early, then you're going to close a bit early, you know? It's like, ni modo de dejarlo una ahí en la escuela, or like, you're not like, we're going to close. We're going to like close regardless. But thankfully, there are those instances where we have people behind us, that support system that can help us out the way you're your sister's support system with her daughter.
Yeah. Because there is, and again, that's how I'm realizing that there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. Because, let me have her, I'll take her so that you can do all your behind the scenes stuff. Because at the end of the day, everyone sees the final product, but not all the planning and prepping that goes into everything. Everything has a start to finish process to get to your final product that you're selling, and everyone forgets that. Like, we keep talking about the behind the scenes and everything. So I see a difference. Obviously, it helps with anybody, like to be able to have, if you have a support system, you know, it makes it a little bit easier, it doesn't make it such a burden, I guess. And then, and it kind of, it's a win-win for me, because then I get to spend time with my niece and I get closer with her. So it's kind of like, we get to, you know, build our own little memories and, you know, relationship.
That's beautiful. I think that's beautiful.
So it's okay. It's a win-win. Y mami, papi, it's okay, están trabajando. Oh, sí. And then she forgets. And that's fine.
And back you play.
We're fine. Like, you know, when she's getting tired, she's like, y mami, papi, están limpiando, recuerda? Oh, and we're fine. So it's like, it's fine. And I think in her case, she's only 2. So I think maybe for her, she maybe doesn't understand all of it yet. But when she asks, we tell her the truth. Están trabajando. You know, están trabajando. We're not telling her, oh, they went on a trip, or, you know, we're not lying about it. We're saying, están trabajando. And she's like, oh, okay. So as she gets older, she's going to know, oh, my parents worked. Like, they worked hard. Just like we all
besides their 9 to 5.
Besides. And I mean, even thinking when we were growing up, we always remember seeing our parents go to work. Dawn to nighttime, sundown, like that's what we saw. So I think for us, it's kind of like that's what we're used to. Like, you work hard. So in a way, like how you're struggling, like, do I show her that? Kind of like, well, why not? Let's just show her a little bit, like Beto suggested, like just a little like that.
Which I think she kind of did when you had the store.
With the labels and everything.
When we had the store, she was there all the time, right? But now that the space where I'm at, it's just, it's different. The atmosphere is different, you know? So usually a lot of members are older and everything. Well, all my clients are pretty much, I guess, older, you know? They're all ages. But it's a different atmosphere. And eventually I'm going to be bringing her to the studio eventually, once, you know, I figure it out, how it's going, what are the things, you know. Sometimes I estoy sola, and I don't hear people come in, so then I get startled, you know? So for me, I need to make sure that it's I'm pretty sure it's a safe space, because it is, you know? And for me, it's like, I need to feel it and check it out first before I bring it into here.
Especially because it's different people in and out or whatever. So, yes, different si tú tuvieras tu propio local.
Like you have complete control over that.
She would have her own room.
And there's...
Me preguntó, because she was like, you going to the studio? And I was like, excuse me? She's like, can I go? And I said, honestly, Mommy, I'm not going to the studio. I said, I'm actually going to be a part of a podcast today. It's called Juntate con Nosotras. And she's like, you're going to be on a podcast? I was like, I know. I was like, and I told her, we can watch it when it comes out together.
For sure.
You know? So I told her that, and so she's looking forward to that. So thank you, ladies, for having me on this. You know,
for sure.
Yes.
Maybe we can have a kid version at some extent, like just with our girls.
Maybe just the kids.
Yes, the kids talking.
So how do you feel about momming?
Yes. There you go. We can just they're on that our girls.
Yes.
Just
their boxes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I think we all have girls, right?
But then now that I'm thinking about it, it's even like my niece, like she with Mona, she loves playing with her. Like they have built their own relationship.
So like
now.
Que se junten, they'll build that too because
so it's kind of like they'll know. Like so, this is kind of like even though it's hard, like look at the positive side. Your kids are going to form their own relationships with people, and then you're going to have that memory. Remember when Mom? Oh, sí, te acuerdas que nos dejaban aquí? Remember this? Y yo te cuidaba a ti. She'll be like, no.
I don't remember each other también because like when I was starting once again con lo de when I had the candle stuff and I would do la purpose with Saraí, baseball audio Saraí, who used to be Paolo Styles.
Love Saraí.
She has 2 kiddos and they're both close to my kids' age too. So like they grew up knowing each other también. So it's just one of those things that besides us building our relationships, like our kids también lo van a hacer.
Por eso, júntense con nosotros. Para hacer un juntadero.
Que sea su ticker también.
Literally.
That'd be nice. Oh my God.
I'm glad that you're getting some insight on it, you know.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
You know, poquito a poquito. I really hope that you continue to grow. You do a wonderful job in the community.
Oh, thank you.
Tuve la dicha de estar con ella todo un día, practically, and to service every single area here in Merced. And I was sweating at the end of the day. I'm like,
And you missed a couple of services.
And I did. See, so
bigger accounts, but
so either props to you for doing
props
what
to
you do,
girl,
for handling it, for making it all day.
I know, right?
And then with the Jay watering the plants, taking the videos,
recording, and then she educated me as well. Porque yo de plantas no sé. And I've kept alive these past couple months, and I'm just like, good for me. But before that, like, nah. But she was, informing me about a lot of stuff, and I'm like, oh, like, yo ni en cuenta, like, con razón se me, mold and whatnot.
Con razón se murió.
Sí.
Necesitan agua.
I didn't think of that,
Oh my God.
Que no le dé mucho sol. ¿Cómo?
I
pensaba que necesitaba sol.
I thought that's supposed to
But not all of them. Going back to the basic science, like, wait.
Well, it was a joy to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
And have this conversation aquí con nosotras. Para otro y un tercero y un cuarto también we'll have you back. To continue chit-chatting and yapping here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Cuando quiera.
Pues muchas gracias for you guys to be here with us, listening and watching. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode y nos esperamos para la próxima. Así que, recuerda,
¡Júntate